19 weird supervillains with the strangest superpowers. We all love a good villain. Heck, we sometimes find ourselves rooting for the supervillain instead of being in the hero's corner. But in the world of comic books, some bad guys take the cake for being downright strange. From guys who talk in sound effects to wooden dolls, there's a lot of weirdness to discover. Get ready for a laugh, a raised eyebrow, and a mandatory "what were they thinking?" as we cover the strangest comic book villains to ever grace the panels. 1. Calendar Man. Picture a guy who plans his crimes based on holidays and significant dates. That's Calendar Man for you. He first appeared in Detective Comics #259 in 1958, making him one of Batman's oldest, weirdest foes. Whether it's Valentine's Day or National Pancake Day, this date-obsessed villain has a scheme for every occasion. 2. Kite Man. Debuting in Batman #133. In 1960, Kite Man, armed with his kite-themed weapons, believes he's a formidable adversary. Granted, he might sound silly, and even he knows he's not the strongest villain out there, but his kites can be surprisingly dangerous. 3. Arm Fall-Off Boy. When it comes to weird powers, Arm Fall-Off Boy takes the cake. First appearing in Secret Origins, Vol. 2, #46 in 1989, he can detach his limbs and use them as weapons. It's like the ultimate party trick turned superpower. 4. Ten-Eyed Man. Eyes everywhere, aka a dude with eyes on his fingertips. That's the Ten-Eyed Man for you. First showing up in Batman #226 in 1970, he became an unexpected foe for the Dark Knight, which he blamed for his loss of sight, for which he underwent an experimental surgery to attach his optic nerves to the sensory cells in his fingers. Talk about keeping an eye on things. 5. Egghead. Egghead first appeared in Batman #188 in 1966, cracking up readers with his quirky crimes. Batman's faced some oddball villains, but Egghead takes the cake with his egg obsession. He's all about egg puns and crazy gadgets. The late Vincent Price played him in the 60s Batman TV series. 6. The Beard Hunter. Yep, this guy is funny as hell. We have a character who relentlessly hunts down individuals with beards, driven by his own inability to grow one. His first appearance was in Doom Patrol #45 in 1991 and was designed as a parody of The Punisher. From well-groomed hipsters to rugged outdoorsmen, no beard is safe from him. 7. Polka Dot Man. Polka Dot Man, also known as Mr. Polka Dot, made his debut in Detective Comics #300 in 1962. His quirky power involves the dots on his costume turning into various gadgets, from flying saucers to deadly weapons. Fashion and function all in one polka-dotted package. 8. Condiment King. Meet the Condiment King, the villain with a flavor for crime. Debuting in Batman the Animated Series, the Make 'em Laugh episode aired in 1994. He usually arms himself with various condiment-themed weaponry, KE condiment guns or hot sauce packets. Mustard gas, anyone? 9. Paste Pot Pete. This guy made his debut in Strange Tales #104 in 1962. Later, he tried to sound cooler as the Trapster. His deal? Slinging paste that hardens fast. Despite the goofy concept, he's tangled with the Fantastic Four. 10. Maggot. First appearing in X-Men #345 in 1997, Maggot has 2 slugs that live inside his abdomen and grant him superhuman abilities. His slugs, Iani and Meanie, are both his allies and a bit gross, to be honest. If there's one supervillain that relies on hit gut, it's this guy. 11. Stiltman. Daredevil's Rogues Gallery has its share of oddballs, and Stiltman is no exception. First appearing in Daredevil #8 in 1965, Wilbur Day equipped himself with extendable mechanical legs to commit crimes, a quirky choice for a life of villainy. 12. Egg Foo. Yes, an extraordinary adversary. Premiering in Wonder Woman #157 in 1965, Egg Foo is a giant, sentient egg with a Fu Manchu mustache and a penchant for world domination. A truly egg-centric villain if there ever was one. Sorry for the puns, but we just had to. 13. Killer Moth. First appearing in Batman #63 in 1951, Killer Moth has a unique approach to crime, providing services to other criminals. Decked out in a moth-themed suit, he's like the underworld's weird insurance policy. And get this, he has his own vehicle, appropriately named Mothmobile. 14. Rainbow Raider. Debuting in The Flash #286 in 1980, Rainbow Raider, also known as Roy G. Bigelow, wields a special prism that allows him to manipulate emotions by projecting colors. His purpose? To steal whatever already can his hands and to be insanely rich. 15. The Ventriloquist. Arnold Wesker, aka the Ventriloquist, first appeared in Detective Comics #583 in 1988. With his dummy, Scarface calling the shots, the Ventriloquist is the perfect mix of eerie, terrifying, and weird. 16. Clock King. Debuting in World's Finest Comics #111 in 1960, the Clock King, aka William Tachman, is obsessed with precision and punctuality. He might not have superpowers, but he's a master of planning and timing. 17. Mad Hatter. Jervis Tetch, aka the Mad Hatter, entered the comic scene in Batman #49 in 1948. Obsessed with Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland, he uses hypnosis along with mind control devices in order to create his own wonderland of crime. 18. Zebra Man. First appearing in Detective Comics #275 in 1960, Zebra Man gained his powers through a bizarre accident involving a magnetic field. Now he can manipulate his striped suit to attract and repel anything that's not metal. He goes through a lot of trouble just to see Batman and Robin dead. 19. Captain Cold. Meet Captain Cold, a classic Flash villain who's old school cool. His deal? A freeze gun. In a world full of high-tech gear and superpowers, Captain Cold rocks a simple but effective gimmick. This frosty foe first showed up in Showcase #8 back in 1957. Hope you've enjoyed our list of the strangest comic book villains ever. Know of any others? Share them in the comments.